Hey, everybody out there, you're tuned in to 91.8 The Fan. You're in my corner, and I have two, count them two, very special guests in the corner. Would you like to unveil your not so secret identity?
Sure, I'm David Bruno with Sekai Project and representing the PR arm for North and South America.
And I'm Alvin Surley, better known as Audie, and I do the PR for Europe and pretty much everything else that other people don't do for Sekai.
Wears multiple hats,
Yeah,
except for one.
It's like a Team Fortress game.
Totally.
Well, for the fans out there, to give them a little bit of background information, how did you guys, get involved with the company?
Audie, want to go first?
sure. I've known many of the people in Sekai for over 10 years through other endeavors. I think most of us are visual novel fans, and many are manga fans, and all these, different Japanese entertainment branches. So we all met when we were fairly young, around our late teens, and last year I finished up work with a game company, and I met some of the people at Sakai at GDC, and they just said immediately that if I was available, they would love to bring me on, and that's how I came on board.
Hmm. Yeah, kind of similar with me. Audie and I used to work, unbeknownst at the time, together on a video game music blog.
Yeah,
And
weren't
we
you
also
locked up in the
share.
cellar or something? I
You
remember you.
kept me in the basement, man. You got to bring that up again. No,
I remember like delivering fish heads to that basement though.
tossing them through the air vents. But yeah,
So
we,
that
we all
was
kind of
you.
share a common love for anime, manga, visual novels, gaming, music, or just games in general. And when Sakai Project first came aboard, they or popped up on the scene, they had released Sakura, one of the Winged Clouds titles on Steam, and it kind of caught my attention. And I reached out to the guys to let them know that if they ever needed any assistance or looking to get coverage anywhere, to give me a shout. And a couple of years later, they've grown substantially and had the room to take me on, take Audie on, and we're up and rolling full steam now.
And you got upgraded out of the basement.
Yeah, yeah, I
Oh
did.
wow. We're still room in a new basement. So just this one has a window.
It's nice to look out and
Oh.
see what the weather's like.
Better you just stuff him underneath the desk, and it's like, you don't have a chair, you have to work down there.
A crate. I have a pallet desk.
Hey, at least if he has a crate, though, then he's like Solid Snake, so,
Hey, it's true. Yeah, I hide.
It's true, yeah,
Surprise
it's
them and
true.
steal all the food when they bring it down.
But one thing that the company is pretty famous for is utilizing Kickstarter for their projects, and even still, they're using it kind of full force. And you guys actually have a game on Kickstarter right now. I believe it's Root Double Before Crime After Days Extend Edition.
Nailed it.
Yeah,
Very good.
I had a cheat sheet.
That is true. Yeah, we just launched it on January 5th, I believe. And it is going pretty strong. We're looking for any ways we can help spread the word and get the word out there. It's a fantastic title, and we really want to see it brought over to Western audiences so we can kind of share the love and let everybody know what it's about. I'm sure Audie can probably fill you in more on the title.
Yeah, I mean, this has been long requested. It's by Takumi Nakazawa, who did the Ever 17 title, which is kind of seen as one of the strongest out there. And as a game, as a visual novel, it's very different from your usual standard ones where you follow just a simple branch and you have a few choices. This one really lets you take your emotions on a trip and just influence the stories in so many ways, and really create something of your own path. And it's pretty fun because we're so used to these visual novels really setting a path for us and just taking us on that trip, and then we're sitting there just dumbfounded of what happened, and that's pretty much it. And this one, you really feel like you have a sense of control, but at the same time you have no control, which is a really cool contrast of feelings.
Well, I believe
Yeah.
the main mechanic from the video and the Kickstarter is you can actually choose your emotion at specific
Right.
times and how you treat characters, if I'm understanding correctly.
Hmm.
Pretty much, yeah. It's called the
This.
Census Sympathy system, and yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why this game was so in demand from our fans, was just that the system is very different and the story is very strong, and the pedigree of Nakazawa-san is also very strong. So it's kind of like one of those games that need to come out in English, I think, for the visual novel community.
And what's really cool, I want the fans to know about this. There's actually an interview you guys did with the original creator or the director, which you can find on YouTube and on the Kickstarter page.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I thought that was really nice that you guys actually
Spoiler
went to the
free.
effort to do
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
we had to make it sure that it was spoiler free, of course, but Nakasawa-san doesn't talk too often publicly. And so we were very fortunate that he was willing to sit down and talk to us. Obviously, doing his title in English, we would hope for his cooperation, and he's been very cooperative and very happy about the development. So he's sitting and watching this Kickstarter intently and listening to all the feedback, and we're, working out all the things that people want for this specific title.
Awesome. Well, how has the reception been so far?
It's been very good. Also, there are some things that people want very strongly from the campaign. I sit every night and read comments and emails and everything from people. I take notes of what every single one want, and I bring it forth to the developers, and await their approval or thoughts on the matter. So, in the coming weeks, there's still a lot of surprises in store for people.
Yeah,
Super
that's one of
exciting.
those cool things about Kickstarter, and I know we had kind of gotten off on the foot of us using Kickstarter quite frequently, and that's one of the fun things about Kickstarter, I think, is that we are able to provide fans, and we do listen to the fans. So if there's something specifically that they want, or just provides an opportunity to get a little something extra out of just seeing another game released to a Western audience, or just seeing another game backed or funded on Kickstarter, it's like it's a prime opportunity to connect with fans.
Yeah, no, definitely. I always like to see kind of, the additional goals or the stretch goals on projects like this. See, like maybe if they dub it or if they present new merchandise or things like that. I know, however, dubbing is costly, just like licensing the original voices is costly as well.
I wish everybody knew that.
Yeah,
It's
it
amazing how
is
expensive
one of
it
those
is.
things. Yeah, it is really one of those things that a lot of people don't think about. It's just all the sub-licensing and relicensing and cost that translating is not one person endeavor. Excuse me, and it it takes a lot of manpower. Excuse me.
Yeah,
I have a lot of. I'm not crying. I'm not emotional. It's just that we had a 2 hour
emotional
meeting
over
before.
voice acting and licensing.
Yeah, it just this topic takes me in places. No, it's just that we had a meeting right before this interview, so my voice is shot.
No, I totally understand. It's just something that's really interesting to me because, for example, we were kind of talking about Otome games behind the scenes, and a lot of
Mhm.
people who were like, "Man, why aren't there more Otome games?" And like, if they have
Right.
an all-star cast, it's super expensive to get the
Right.
licensing for that, and then put it on different platforms. And it's surprising how few people who are fans of visual novels don't actually know that.
Well, at the same time, I mean, for every industry and be it entertainment or any other, the consumer isn't necessarily don't have to know about all the details. They're there to enjoy a product, and we're there to deliver it.
Hmm.
So I certainly don't blame anyone for coming to me and saying, why isn't this done? And then when I explain, they had no idea. I'm happy just to educate them that there are so many other things going on behind the scenes of one single production, let alone us having so many that we do to keep track of, and all the just everything has to be in order, all the paperwork, all the red tape. It's a lot of things, and the voices are certainly one of those uh, things that makes it difficult, because a lot of these visual novels really sell itself on strong voice acting, and a lot of the fans, even in the West, are followers of certain seiyus and voice actors that have very strong performances, and we don't want to release a game without that. But at the same time, that means that we have to go get the license for that, or else the game is really lacking.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think it's good for our listeners to hear about that. But going back to Root Double Before Crime After Days
Mm.
Extend Edition, I'm curious what sort of rewards can the fans get a hold of?
I mean, right now, there are a lot of different ones. I mean, if you back the game, you can get both physical and digital, which is like the norm, right? And there's a lot of soundtracks, or a lot of tracks in the soundtrack. I mean, it's a very large soundtrack, and we can get that physically or digitally. We also have posters, of course, and tapestry, which is sort of like these anime staples. We also have a lot of personalized shikishis. We have a mini shikishi that will be less individual, but we also have these limited, if you really want shikishi, like a hand-drawn tablet from the Mikeo, who is one of the artists in the game and very famous, or his signature on the game. We have these limited tiers. And we just announced 2 updates ago or 1 update ago, I forget, that we have more tiers coming, and some have already been announced, like messenger bag and stuff like that. So we're constantly adding things as the days and weeks go by.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's cool to hear, and I've made sure to link the Kickstarter to our IRC chat, and we'll also post it on Twitter and Facebook so you guys get a chance to look over the project and, contribute to it yourself.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, of course. It looks really interesting. I like how so visual novels to me are really interesting when they go to very dark places. You have like this cutesy kawaii moe thing going on, and then oh shoot, suddenly everybody's killing each other.
You really are a fan of Ultimate games, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah, that's generally where they go, right? They never
Right.
go someplace really nice. But I like to see visual novels in general that do that sort of thing and have that sort of theme. And this visual novel seems like it does get quite darker, which is really appealing to me.
Yeah, Darkness, I don't want to spoil anything, but what I like with visual novels, I mean, I grew up, I'm an old man, but like in the mid-90s, I started working on, like not working on them, but I started playing visual novels through an accident. And my first one was a game called Eve Burst Error, which was on the PC, one of the first kind of big localized visual novels in the US. And that was like a sort of sci-fi spy adventure visual novel, which had a fantastic soundtrack, and I was fortunate enough to be very close friends with the composer before he passed away. And Root Double kind of reminds me of what my feeling with that game was that it went in different direction than the usual like harem, you have 5 girls, pick the one you like sort of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I like professional novels. I don't mind when they go the traditional route. There is a market for that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I do really enjoy when they create lore, a world, and I love science fiction. So this one, to me, personally, is one of the most attractive visual novels I've been involved with and played myself.
Yeah, I think where I started is what did it. My little sister Kana, I think, is my very first visual novel,
Mm-hmm.
and that one is so heartwarming. But
You,
it can.
you really like dark visual novels, I can tell. Like, we're just continuing down this same street right now, but Kana Little Sister was a fairly sad game.
It was like it was so heartwarming, and then it got sadder and sadder, and you're like, oh gosh, right in my Kokoro.
Let's just ask you, what did you think of Clanad?
Oh gosh. Well,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I know, right? There's so much to say, and I know that the game recently came out, so I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
spoil it in case there are still people on the fence with that. But what I love about that is that it's hard to dislike anybody in the game. And so
Right.
you want to go through their story with them, no matter how dark or twisted it goes. But by the end, if you do everything right, at least you get that happy ending. You know what I mean? And that's satisfying. Because as much as I like dark games, I hate the ones where everybody dies at the end in bad end, and that's the good end actually.
Right.
Because then you're like, oh, I couldn't save anybody. Oh no. But I loved both the anime and the visual novel. There's something really appealing to kind of get your heartstrings tugged, this way and that way.
Yeah, I think we're getting off topic of here, but like Clanad, I think has that special quality that instead of trying to make you fall in love with every character, which a lot of these visual novels just kind of try to rush you into, like, do you like this girl? Do you want to go out with her? Go take her. Like, don't hesitate. And it's just like, okay, well, let me take my time here. Whereas Clannad, I think, rather just wants you to feel like classmates and friends and kind of have these rather personal feelings rather than just strictly, relationship-wise. It's more, here's the heart of this character. Do you care about it? If you do care about it, there's actual, like, true friendship shown in the game, which is what makes it so strong for people when things happen to the certain characters.
Well, for the fans out there, do you want to tell them how to get a hold of that game? I know it's on Steam. I'm not sure if you guys are selling any more physical copies or if that was just for the Kickstarter.
Clannad, you mean?
Yes.
Clannad, I believe they can go get it on Steam right now. We did release it in November. And physical, I think, was only a Kickstarter thing. The reason why I say I think is that we haven't really gotten far enough yet with the Kickstarter and, like, putting stuff out there and getting everything out there. We have digitally out, but there's still physical rewards stuff to be sent out. So I think we have to get to the point where everything is finalized and ready and sent, and then we can look at whether or not we will also have distribution physically. But the game is on Steam, and it's very well worth your time to check it out.
Yes, I absolutely agree. If nobody's gotten out there gotten a chance to play it, please do so.
If you watch the anime, I'll say this: if you watch the anime, which is a fairly good representation of the visual novel, but if you cared watching the anime, you will actually care way more for the visual novel because you will have a lot more time with each character, and you will get to learn much more about them. So for any fan of the anime, the visual novel is essential to experience.
Yeah, definitely. But for all the fans out there, we're going to take a short break, but don't go anywhere because when we come back, we're going to talk about any upcoming releases you guys have. So stay tuned to 91.8 The Fan, where we play everything you want and nothing you don't.
Hello? Hello? I don't know how long I'll be able to keep this transmission. I've made it in! Me too! I've cracked the code! I can't believe Anarcho-Elf, in the Revolution. Many have tried to join. Some have succeeded. Most have failed. To those of you that have decoded the message and lived to tell the tale, we salute you. For those who have fallen, lights out for you. Catch the Revolution every weekday from 4 to 8 p.m. PST, only on 91.8 The Fan.
Hi, my name is Austin Tyndall. I'm a super serious actor, and you're tuned into 91.8 The Fan.
Hey everybody out there, you're still tuned to 91.8 The Fan. You're in my corner and my special guests are still here, alive and breathing. I'm not sure if they're still in the basement or not.
Sadly.
David is.
Yeah.
Just David.
Still looking for a way out. You see the claw marks in the stone down here.
You just itch like a line for every day.
Yeah.
Hoping to get out.
How long I've been down here, keeping track.
It's like the bottom of Until Dawn where you find the bodies.
January yet?
Yes, it's January.
What? What year?
2016.
Oh my god, I've been down here this long.
We still don't have flying cars, though.
What a travesty.
We have fake hoverboards, though.
Yeah, that we do. We do have fake hoverboards.
And
win the series.
And to be fair, we did get the Pepsi Perfects in the same
in
containers.
Very short supply.
Yeah, I have 2 of them.
Oh, do you really? Oh
yes,
my gosh, that's
awesome. At a convention, I cosplayed a gender swap Marty McFly. So every part of my costume was from the 80s, including the life preserver. So that was really fun.
They made those self-tying shoelaces too, right?
They
have like a prototype of
Nike
it.
is, yeah.
Yeah, they've patented it, and they released a video where Michael J. Fox actually got to use them. So that was really exciting. But anyhow,
yeah.
Now that we've nerded out a little bit.
I love Back to the Future, but
I do too. Back to the Future and Ghostbusters are my two tops.
We were talking about RoboCop earlier too, so
Mhm.
That's true. That's very true.
I want to meet RoboCop
One day. One day.
one day. One day.
But for the fans out there, I know you have quite a few games that are coming out soon. Anything you want to promote to them?
Actually, yeah, we did just release Strawberry Vinegar. It is a slice of life visual novel. Super cute, very adorable artwork, and lots of good food. It is written by Ebihime, which is the creator of Asphyxia and The Way We All Go, so some people may be familiar. And some artwork by Silly Selly, and Yuzuki did the music. And the OST is also available on Steam, as well as the game. I should mention the game is on Steam.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just released last week. So definitely worth picking up. It's wicked, wicked cute, and it's about a girl, a kind of a grumpy, cynical girl, who finds a demon in her kitchen stealing a tray of cookies. In short, we'll keep it at that. And so their friendship kind of blossoms from there. There's kind of some Yuri themes, and it's a really cute slice of life visual novel.
Well, anything that has a screenshot of a Japanese crepe kind of sells me. Like
I know. I was like, after that,
There is so much food in
I
that
want
game.
pie and cake.
Yeah.
Like,
You get hungry playing that game.
yep, and there are Steam achievements, and I believe there should be trading cards on the way very soon too, for all the trading card hunters.
I'm still trying, so I'm a console gamer by trade. I'm one of the rare breed still alive nowadays.
Myself.
Yeah.
And myself too, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So all of my friends are like, you need to be on Steam more. So I got on Steam more, and I'm like, there's all these cards. What do I do with them? And so I just stockpile these cards, and I have no idea
You sell them and
for.
make money back.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how. Like, I feel
They
so
look nice,
dumb,
though.
but yeah, like.
It has a lot of nice artwork. I mean, I make those cards for our company, and I try always to make them super nice just because I know that, I mean, I get emails about the Steam cards all the time. Someone saying this game doesn't have Steam cards, when is it coming? And then I have to go and negotiate that with the developer, like 2 years after having the game. And what I always do is that I make these cards as interesting as I can, because I do think that there's a lot of people that don't know what to use these cards for, so they just want to look at them.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
that's me.
It's awesome getting the wallpapers too, and it's kind of like a random pull, a random draw when you do craft a badge, when you get all the trading cards. For the people who aren't familiar with it or don't know, it's when you collect all of the trading cards for a set for a certain game or title, then you can craft a badge. I think there's like 5 tiers to that badge. You get either emoticons to use or themed emoticons to use that represent that game on the forums or whatever.
or game
Also
background.
get profile backgrounds. And that for me is like the fun part of it.
That sounds great. I just wish somebody would have told me that.
Yeah, so when you craft all the
Yeah.
badges, when you collect the set, then you can forge a badge out of it. And then by
Can
forging badges,
personalize
you'll level
your,
up on Steam and get more friends on your friends list and all sorts of stuff. So they're multi-tiered.
I feel like I gotta yell at people now who are like, "Oh, just give them to me" or something.
Yeah, see, that's what they do. They get to you. They tell you like, "Oh, just give them to me. They're not used for anything."
Yeah, just trade it. You
really.
don't need it.
Yeah, just trade it, and then then we come on your podcast, and now you know the
Dropping
truth.
knowledge bombs.
Yeah, no, I gotta trust the professionals.
Suddenly, your friend list got a lot smaller.
Hey, I made a Christmas list just to take them off of it.
Oh,
Coming from the guy in the basement. Aw.
yeah.
Now he feels sympathetic. But
yeah, aside from Strawberry Vinegar, we also are gearing up to release Unwanted Studios' No One But You, an English visual novel coming out very soon on the 19th, which is less than a week away now. It's a visual novel dating sim. So that's coming up also. And then we, shortly following that, because we are not slowing down at all in Q1 2016 here, we'll be releasing Rabby Ribby, which is a very adorable Metroidvania style game. It's a 2D exploration platformer where you play as Irena, who is a bunny girl. She was a bunny, but she woke up in a new world as a bunny girl, so tail, ears. And she has a little familiar, like a fairy sprite. So it's part Metroidvania style gaming and it's part bullet hell kind of game. So if people who are familiar with shmups or like the cave style games like Death Smiles or Mushihime-sama, it has crazy boss battles where just the screen can just get like filled with bullets. I mean, just littered everywhere. So it's a very interesting mixture of the two genres.
It's kind of like for console gamers, which we are, like for those of you who are familiar with like Wonder Boy and Monster World and those kinds of games on the Sega, it has like it harkens back to that. It's a mix of
Mhm.
Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, um, Wonder Boy,
Super
and
Metroid, yeah.
yeah, Super Metroid. It has a sequence breaking. It has experience points, and it also has a very cute, fun story. And people you can interact with and stuff. So very different from the visual novels that we usually publish, but a game that we really
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to have a
internally
break.
enjoyed.
Hmm.
Yeah, it we really have a lot of fun with this title.
Yeah, it's fun to mix things up too. I mean, I don't want us to get too pigeonholed into just visual novels, kinetic novels. So from time to time, we do have platformers like I mean, this one's from a Taiwan-based development circle, Cray Spirits. And then we just released shortly after Kana last year, we released Reverse Reverse, same developers who did Tobari and the Night of the Curious Moon. And so Reverse Reverse is just absolute insanity. It's like a 2D platformer, but it's a puzzle platformer, and it will just rake your brain trying to figure out these puzzles. I mean, you could feel the gears in your head turning, just like, oh, I know what to do. I know I see where I have to get to, but
But
how do I do it?
how? Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, with Robbie Ribby, or Rabby Ribby, sorry. The one thing that's really interesting about that, especially watching some of the videos and like you have a video up for the boss rush gameplay.
Yeah.
I love whoever does the sound for it because everything feels good. You know, just watching, like it feels like everything makes an impact, like your attacks,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that totally is super important. I feel like from a gameplay perspective.
It
Yeah, when
has
you're hitting something with a mallet or something, yeah, you're
yeah,
right. Does
the
that like
sound
impact?
design is very good. It feels like everything you do has weight. It feels like there's some kind of you know
Structure
force
to
to
your
everything. Yeah,
combo tracks?
structure and mass. There's like mass to the whole game. So I'm very happy you mentioned the sound design because I
Yeah, no,
also
good points.
felt that often in indie games and stuff, the sound design comes last, and what you end up is kind of a floating kind of soundscape where the sounds don't connect properly with the actions that you're doing. And in this game, it's completely opposite. It's just everything connects and hits really hard. So it's a really fun, heavy game sound wise.
Yeah, no, that's something that really, really, popped out at me, and I love the art, and I love the pixels, like everything about it just kind of, grabs me. So I hope for the fans out there that's something that you guys will check out.
Hmm.
I'm gonna link the page for it in our live chat as well.
Yeah, and the website, depending you're linking back to the Rabby Ribby website, there is a demo available on the page too. So please check it out and let us know what you think.
Yeah, definitely. So, is there anything else you want to let the fans know? Any way they can keep up to date with any upcoming announcements?
Um,
Well, we finished a Kickstarter last month for Narcissu. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with Narcissu, but it's a visual novel about terminally ill patients and kind of like their passage to beyond this life. And for you who's so big a fan of Darkness,
it's a very
probably
happy
a
visual
perfect
novel.
title. But yeah, we kickstarted the Narcissus one and first and second. The first and second title of the game are free on Steam, and they're you can go on Steam right now and search for Narcissus and check it out. And we kickstarted the continuation of that game last month, and we're preparing to release the first chapter of that continuation very soon. So for those of you who backed Narcissus 10th Anniversary Anthology, thank you, and it's coming very soon. And for those of you who are not familiar, check it out on Steam. It's a wonderful, wonderful, though very heavy material to read, and tugs at your heartstrings. It's
Yeah, have something to pick you up after you're finished with it.
yeah, you really you're not prepared. I can tell you that much. But at the same time, there is something fairly you take something fairly important from that game because I do think that it shows a different side of life that some of us have a little bit of trouble kind of embracing and understanding, and that these games are written very well and can give you a little bit more balance, maybe, to how you view life.
My advice would be to play Nekopara after that because
There you
it's so
go.
cutesy.
Yes. Right after that, just go over to Nekopara, and
Magical
your life
Girl,
will be right
what you
on
do.
track.
I,
And
I, sh- I should clarify, that's like one of my favorite games right now, just so people don't think I'm just into dark, evil stuff all the time. Just some of the
Nekopara?
time. Yeah, no, I think it's adorable.
Nekopara Volume 2 is coming out soon.
Mhm.
So,
It is wonderfully bubbly and cute.
yeah.
Yeah, I believe the Steam version is family friendly, or
That is correct.
yeah.
Yes.
Steam.
Depending on your family, it's very friendly, but it is as close to all ages as you can get that game on Steam. It does definitely have it has humor, and
Yeah,
humor can
suggestive
be
humor.
very subjective. Just be open-minded. But Nekopara Volume 2 is coming out, so if you are not familiar with that, go on Steam and check out Nekopara if you like it, and the continuation is right around the corner, so you won't have to wait long to continue your Nekopara adventures.
Yeah, and we usually post about it on our Twitter or social media pages, or Facebook and stuff, so you can usually find some of the more recent and current updates on Nekopara.
So I feel like it's worth asking, and I can understand if you guys can't make a comment on it. But last year, there were a few companies that were able to release some of their games that had adult content on Steam, which was really surprising. And the normal fan base really doesn't know why or how. Is that something you guys are looking into as well?
Okay, so yeah, I am familiar with that development, but I mean, I can't speak for other companies and how
Mm-hmm.
they talked about and stuff. But what I do know is that Steam and Valve have policies against adult material, obviously, which we are very familiar with, and of course we stay within every guideline that Steam has put there. However, they still have room for a mature title. So even though some companies release titles with mature content in it, I don't know if that content really pushed what other games hadn't already done on Steam.
There's weird gray areas also where if there is an adult or 18 plus version of a game, that the matured version, or the all ages version, I should say, is released on Steam, but then there's usually in the forums for that title, somebody or like a fan created patch, is inserted in the forums mysteriously, or, that's kind of the gray area, the loophole that I found Steam to have, is that they'll let those forums kind of, or those threads fly.
I will really stress that people should not, there has been reactions to patches, and we really do not condone that people patch their
exactly.
For third-party patches on your games on Steam is a very, very bad idea. So please go
to the source.
Yes, talk to us and see what's out there. But yeah, as I said, there was a few titles that came out that had more mature content, but I think that content is in line with what bigger publishers had done for their AAA games and such in the past. So I don't know. I think a lot of people took it as an advancement for Valve to open these doors, and I think Valve. I can't speak for the company, but I do think Valve themselves just felt that this was pretty much in line with what's already on Steam, and therefore it shouldn't be a problem.
That's totally fair, and I apologize for asking one of those pressing questions, but it was something.
No. We're here to answer your questions, so we don't mind. But
yeah, it's just something I think from a fan perspective, it's like, oh, cool. Are we reaching that point, or is there still a lot of gates in the way before that sort of thing can happen?
Yeah, sure. And I'll answer something else to that too. Is that we as a company don't believe in censorship. I don't think any company believes in censorship, first of all. Though in some cases with the all ages versions of the games that are on Steam, I will say that, certainly from our developers, the all ages versions are often considered canon. That's the one that the Japanese developer feels is like the complete story, and what the adult scenes that have been sold in Japan are publisher based over there. It was something that they said needs to be in there for their market.
Sales purposes,
So
or whatever.
for sales purposes and stuff. So I do know that a lot of people sometimes are screaming at us like, "Oh, why is this cut? Like, why is this not in the game?" And we can't speak for the developer. We can never do that. But I can share that like some of the developers out there have, been happy that they're getting it out there without this pressure.
Right. Or they feel
content
that, that's the definitive version, or that's like their director's cut, or
And
that's how it was
that
intended.
might sound like really might sound like an excuse not to put it in there, but it really is true. Because I myself am very open-minded and I like stories, and I don't care what is used in that story to tell it. If sex is part of that story, then that's part of that story, or any content out there. Storytelling is open to any
Medium
device.
and,
Yeah. So for me personally in this company, I can tell you that like, what's there is there, and we don't never fight it, and none of us are trying to limit as it comes to story.
Right. Yeah. If there's something in there of that degree, it's not something that we avidly fight against.
There's also been cases where we realized that games that have been suggested to us cannot survive being, taken apart like that. That certain story points just will not come across, and then we don't take it. Like, we have respect enough for that game to not take it.
And I think that's a wise decision. It's a wise business practice to follow. So I appreciate the fact that you guys are going to that length to do that. And so thank you very much for answering my questions. It's been great having you guys on. Is there anything else? I know we have your Twitter, your Facebook, your website. I think we've pretty much grabbed all your social media at this point, and thrown it to the fans, and hopefully
just
they
need the key to the cellar door now.
Yeah.
All set.
You're not getting it.
Dang it.
We just have to complete all of your games, unlock all of the CG, and get all of the endings.
Get all the trading cards.
Yeah, and
all the trading cards.
All the routes.
And then show up with all of the proof, and then you're free.
It's like a Disney. Sounds like a Disney story.
Yeah, that's the movement to say, David.
Sure. You can show up at my door with the proof, and if my dog puts the paw on the right document, then I'll let him free. It's all up to my dog whether or not David goes free from now on.
Man.
But no, and absolutely. Again, I'll say check out Root Double on Kickstarter. And it's going on right now. There's still, I think, 24 days left. Going fairly well. And there's a lot of surprises coming on that front. So please check us out. And,
at the very minimum, I mean, if you're unable to back Root Double, please consider sharing it with your friends. Consider sharing it on social media, word of mouth, whatever you can do is appreciated. I mean, it's not like you have to slap a monetary value on it for us to appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And since we're nearing the end of this interview, it's actually time to ask you guys if you'd be willing to participate in a 91.8 The Fan tradition.
Sure. Depends what the tradition is.
That's what everyone says, and then we never see them ever. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
We basically ask everyone who comes on the show if they'd be willing to do a radio bump for us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that basically means we ask you to say a line. And I don't know if you guys want to do it separately or if you want to do it together, but we basically ask is, hello, my name is, you insert your name, I do this, you can put whatever you want, and you're tuned into 91.8 The Fan.
All right.
I guess we'll do it together.
Yeah, so we're going to say this is Sekai Project, and you're tuned in to 98.1 The Fan.
91.8.
Oh, 91.8, sorry. Dyslexia.
See, I need to write this down. Numbers is not my strong suit.
Also, there's someone in the call that has the name. That's actually the radio that's in the call.
There we go, right there in front of me.
So yeah, whenever you guys are ready, we're recording.
Sweet. All right. Ready to do this?
I'm ready.
All right, in 3, 2, and 1. Hello, this is Sekai Project, and you are tuned in to 91.8 The Fan.
And if you want to save David Bruno from his basement, tune in every week.
Oh, that was amazing. I'll just keep that one. Nobody will get the joke unless they listen to the interview, but I think it works.
Yeah, they have to listen.
Exactly. It's a way to tie them in. So, is there anything else you'd like to tell the listeners out there? Any words of wisdom, dating advice, predictions for the end of the world?
Don't take dating advice. Don't always take dating advice straight from visual novels or kinetic novels. Um, yeah, just keep an eye
Are you
on our.
telling me this now?
Oh God, I know. Sorry. Look where it got me in the basement.
Yeah.
No,
Look what got me divorced.
oh,
I'm not actually divorced. I'm joking.
But keep an eye on our social media threads. We are doing many events this year, and we do have a lot more surprises in store for 2016. A lot more games coming out.
Yeah.
And we'd love to hear from you. We just redid our forums also, so if you want to talk with us directly, aside from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, whatever other social media methods there are out there, our forums are always a great option. And we do
We're
read
always
Steam forum posts too, so
we're
always
available
listening.
everywhere.
We are.
And yeah, if you are at conventions this year, as David mentioned, come to Anime Expo, say hello. Come to, what are the other ones?
We'll be at hopefully Anime Expo, SakuraCon, maybe.
No, we are confirmed
AOD.
for Anime Expo.
AOD
So,
in Santa Clara. We'll be there.
Yep.
So if you're a Bay Area local, come say hello. I'll be there.
I think we're doing Anime Next in Toronto. So for you Canadians up there, you can check out what we're all about up in Canada.
That is true. We'll hit up Tim Hortons.
Wait. Anime Next is in New Jersey.
Oh,
Is it?
that's Atlantic City.
I confused them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was like, wait a second. We
it
sent
moved.
somebody to that one.
It moved. Yeah. No, there's one in Toronto that we'll be at. They all have anime in the name, so I
Yeah,
get them confused.
I know. And then it's like something con, da 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 con, da 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 da.
Lots of cons.
Where's Anime Boston?
I wonder.
Florida.
I don't know. I gotta look that one up, guys.
Actually, you caught me off guard with that. I was like, wait, really?
Yeah, exactly. But I think we are going to Anime Boston, so you can check us out there too. If you are in Florida, come to Anime Boston and check us out.
And just drive up the coast. But yes, thanks for the interview, and thanks for taking the time to speak with us, and thank the fans for listening, and we hope we can cross-pollinate our communities.
Yeah, no, that sounds super exciting, and thanks so much for being great guests. And for any of the listeners out there that missed any of this interview, don't fret, you can find it on the website within the next few days, so keep your eyes peeled to 918thefan.com and your ears tuned to 91.8 The Fan, where we play everything you want and nothing you don't.